Chairman, thank you very much. Madam Secretary, General Welch, thank you for your military and public service. Thanks for the opportunity to have a conversation today. Fortunately, one of my priorities is one of the Air Force's priorities, and that's the KC-46A. And I would be delighted to have you bring me up to date, bring the committee up to date on the current manufacturing state of that aircraft, its current the circumstance we have with its basing, and the infrastructure that is required at McConnell to accomplish the mission of the KC-46A tanker program. And Madam Secretary, I understand that you and I are still working on a time in which you're going to visit McConnell, and I welcome that. I understand you've proposed a date and I've accepted, so I don't know what that means in our relationship, but I appreciate the circumstance that I now find myself in.
Great. Well, I will say overall, the program, the KC-46A program, remains on track, I will say, to meet that next contractual milestone, which is what we call 18 RAA, by the time frame. I will say there's like very little to no margin left in that time frame. There have been some developmental delays, which may delay some of the fielding by a few months. With respect to McConnell, I would just say that the MILCON to support the KC-46 is on schedule. We're projecting aircraft to be arriving in the March of 2017 timeframe, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's all looking good, and I'm looking forward to making a visit.
Thank you. And I also understand that the military construction budget includes construction of an air traffic control tower, and I appreciate that, assuming that that's true.
Yes, Senator, it is true. It's funded for FY17, and the other 12 projects that are ongoing are also fully funded to support the bed down on the KC-46.
Very good. If there is any way that I can be of help in regard to any of these issues, please let me know. We would be considered the place for the basing of the KC-46A tanker. Spirit Aerosystems, also headquartered in Wichita, Kansas, is the manufacturer of the fuselage, and so the manufacturing process, we're pleased to hear of its current timeliness. And compliment them as well. Let me turn to the issue of cybersecurity. We had a conversation in the last opportunity that I had to question you, in particular about the Air National Guard and its role. We have the 177th located at McConnell Air Force Base. They are a Red Team NSA certified, the only Air Guard unit with that designation. And my goal in my conversations with you previously have been to try to make certain that the components that you mentioned, General, are coordinating their efforts and that the skill set and capabilities of that red unit at McConnell are being recognized and fully integrated into the cybersecurity efforts by the entire Air Force. And in particular, I want to raise two issues. One is resources. There have been and continue to be positions that are unfilled, and that is related to resources. And we need to make certain that that's not a continuing problem. The second part is training. We want to make certain that there is consistent and available training for those who work in those units, both active and reserve component. And I would welcome your thoughts about both those issues, the resourcing necessary to have the number of personnel and the capabilities to train current and future staffing decisions.
Senator, when the Air National Guard came out last year with their plan to expand this unit, so the unit will go, as you well know, from a group to a wing this year. The part of that discussion was, do we have the mission requirement for these additional units? The answer to that was yes. The second half was, do we have the resources to support this? Can the Guard recruit from the community? Can we build these units and make them a viable contributor to both the state and to the nation, the national security side of the house? The answer to all those questions is yes. The unit is just transitioning. And so I don't know if the positions you're talking about are positions just haven't filled because we've expanded the unit and we haven't filled them yet. I'll check with the Air National Guard and get back to your staff on where we stand with that and what the issues are, if there are any issues, or if they're just in the build process. On the mission side, the entire Department of Defense is still feeling its way into the cyber domain. We are in our focus today has been on filling the cyber mission force supporting U.S. Cyber Command on behalf of the nation and on behalf of combatant commanders. All the services have been focused on that. We have a couple of more years to go till those are fully manned. The Guard does play a major role in that. That is not what this unit is needed to do. And so the unit in Kansas will be one of the units that we use to start building the broader cyber capability inside our Air Force. How do we do our core missions in, through, and from the cyber domain? And that's the intent. This unit will be part of that effort, either directly, indirectly, or as a red team supporting that effort over time. And so that's the intent for the unit's future mission. It just doesn't have a lot around it in terms of the rest of the Air Force doing this mission yet. So it's going to be a little bit of a slow start on the mission side, and they will augment the effort that supports the national side, under Title 50 for NSA or Title 10 for U.S. Cyber Command, because you have a lot of really talented people who've done this business for a while in that unit.
Thank you, General, and we are happy to be at the forefront and look forward to using our expertise to help the Air Force fulfill its cybersecurity mission. And again, Madam Secretary, I look forward to being with you in Kansas in the near future.